Good morning, travelers. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everyone who celebrates it. Just a quick couple of announcements. Those of you who are waiting for the individual monthly readings to be posted onto the website, those are going to come after the weekend. And the reason why is we're going to have the full moon in Scorpio on the 10th, but the day before we have the nodal shifts. So the true nodes are going to be of the moon will be moving from the Virgo Pisces axis into the Leo Aquarius axis. So I'm going to wait till after that time to post those videos. Just kind of give time for that energy to clear. I don't know about, some of you, water moons are really tough. Scorpio moons are particularly tough, and this will be a full moon. It'll be falling at 20 degrees Scorpio. So for those of you who have your natal charts, your birth charts, your zero Aries charts, go ahead and take a look and see what other planets or points that you have sitting at 20 degrees. Doesn't matter what sign, what house. And take a look. And if there's something going on in your life and you're kind of a little confused and you may need a bit of clarity, come over and post. I think I've already posted a full moon in Scorpio transit watch. So come over and post underneath that, kind of tell me what's going on, list your factors. And that's within 1 degree of 20 degrees. So either something at 19 or 21. And then post and let me know what you have and what your situation is, and I'll take a look. Skinny Bee, I did get your email. I haven't had an opportunity to sit down and really think about it, but I will get back to you. Jay Burris, I know that you have been waiting on me to take a look at the transits that are coming up for you in September. Give me a moment and I'll get back to you on that. I haven't had a chance to run the progressions on your chart yet, but it is coming. So kind of bear with me. I'm taking 2 different courses right now. So I've got a lot on my plate. We know that Mercury just came direct. He's stationed direct on the 3rd. He's gone direct yesterday. So for me, it's kind of a herky-jerky kind of a thing, sort of like trying to learn how to drive a stick for the first time. You know how you start. So that's kind of how things are going for me. I'm almost done with the syllabus for the courses. I have a few more chapters to go, and then I'll start recording those actual course modules to post up over on the website. Now, for those of you who are interested in booking a reading with me, you can click on the little white eye up here in the corner. That will take you directly over to the website. I have several different readings. If you wish to book a reading by phone, there is a tab there that you really need to read before you submit any payment and your booking form. So what you do when you go to the site, you find readings by phone, hover your mouse over that. A secondary menu will pop out. Right at the top, it says important information on booking. Please read that because it'll tell you everything that you need to know about booking a reading with me. For those of you who would prefer to have a private video reading, there's a separate tab. It explains everything that you need to do. I'm picking up on etheric cord cutting sessions. I think a lot of people are anytime the nodes shift, this is the reworking of karma. So I have a lot of other stuff going on. For those of you who may be interested, you can join the website. There are 3 levels of membership options. When you join, you get not only access to the individual monthly tarot readings, and those are extended. I cover both career and romance or relationships. But there's also, you get 2 free natal birth charts. You get access to lots of articles. You get access to the predictive astrology that I'm telling everybody else about with their zero natal chart. You get to create your own chart when you sign up, and then I send you a second personalized chart. And that's how we take a look at some of the things that are going on over there. So, if you're interested, come over and join. I'd love to have you. You can also find the links to Facebook and my LinkedIn. I've had people contacting me through LinkedIn. That's going to be in the About box section. So, just whatever you want to do. Tumblr, I'm on Tumblr as well. Now, this is going to be a quick open reading. This will not be for any specific sign, nor any specific time frame. I'm just asking my guides to kind of, if something needs to be revealed, or if somebody needs some kind of advice, or somebody needs a little bit of direction or comfort or solace, we shall see what the cards, and I got tickled because as I was pre-shuffling, 2 cards popped out. And they are the Fool. Now, look at this with the Hermit behind him. And I got so tickled because it's kind of like what I feel like. It's a herky-jerky kind of an energy. This is Uranus. He's quick. He's erratic. He wants to move and do things. He doesn't want to. But then here's the Hermit that says, you know what? It's not really time to move that fast yet. You know, slow down. So let's go ahead and take the rest of the cards to see what messages can come through here. Oh, well, and there's the Devil. Isn't that something? 3 major arcana right across the top. Well, isn't that something? That is something. Now, they could be speaking about some planetary transits. I haven't had an opportunity to look at what's going on. I was just online with my Russian friend who's an astrologer, and we were looking at some transits, and I didn't, you know, really write them down. But the 3 cards, what planets they represent would be, again, Uranus with the Fool, Mercury with the Hermit, and then Saturn with the Devil. And remember I was saying, it's like you want to move really quick, but the Hermit comes in and says, you know what, slow down. And then here's Saturn to say, nope, not time yet. So let's go ahead and see what the rest of the cards are trying to tell us. It's quite interesting. Huh. You know, in fact, I do think any of you who are, you know, maybe the Fool speaks to going on a trip. It speaks to liberation. That's what Uranus does. He liberates, and he rules Aquarius. So we do have the nodes moving in, and this could be speaking about going from Virgo to Aquarius. It's kind of backwards, but there's the Hanged Man. Wow. Virgo, Pisces. There it is. The 6 of Wands. The 10 of Coins. The Emperor. Holy smokes. The Wheel of Fortune. Holy smokes. One more card. And the 7 of Wands. Well, isn't this something? Isn't this something? So this tells me that these are big spiritual forces here. Let me turn the card over. There's the 6 of Swords. There's the 6 of Swords. Right in this, okay, look, for those of you who don't know much about the tarot, it's divided, there's 78 cards. 22 of them represent the major arcana. These are going to be cards like the Fool, the Hermit, the Devil, the Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Emperor. They represent big spiritual lessons and life lessons, okay? Then we have the pip cards. So the pip cards are our numbered cards, but they also include our court cards, which are going to be our pages, knights, kings, and queens. I have just 3 pip cards. The 6 of Wands, the 10 of Coins, and the 7 of Wands. And out of 9 cards, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana. And typically, when I see this large number of major arcana, that means that there is a huge turning point coming for you, for some of you. There will be a huge spiritual lesson. There's a spiritual lesson that's trying to come. There's a next step spiritual evolutionary event, situation. Something is coming. And really, it's kind of out of your hands. Okay. This is a lot of right in the center, we have the 6 of Wands. And the 6 of Wands represents the energy of Jupiter and Leo. That's the Destiny's Gate. I'm sorry. No, it's not the Destiny's Gate. We have the node moving into the North Node, the true North Node moving into Leo. but I am getting it's related to a destiny's gate. That is your vertex point in your chart. That is the electrical stimulus point. This is where an energetic portal way kind of opens up. New people and new situations will step in that really seem to be fated. I'm getting a lot of readings and people who are emailing me who are telling me that they're meeting their twin flames and their soulmates. Very, very challenging. As we know, those relationships are not always meant where we are supposed to stay together. They are really designed to help us to grow on another level, to become better people for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for society or the world in general. This is what Uranus does. We have the Uranus in energy. Uranus in energy. Uranus in Aries. Uranus has been in Aries for quite a while now. He's beginning to move to his latter degrees. Uranus in Aries can bring about sudden strife, sudden arguments, fights, war. Aries is ruled by, Aries rules the sign of Mars. He is the god of war. Now we also have a Mars-Neptune aspect coming up. This one is can be very tricky because Mars wants you to rush ahead. It's just really, it's about developing the ego and it's about the me. Neptune in the mix says that, something could come along, some new opportunity could come along, something new. But because Neptune is in the mix, there can be some illusions and deception surrounding this. So I think in one respect, that's why I'm getting the Hermit and the Devil with the Hanged Man here. It's kind of like a warning to say, whatever new thing that you are tempted to step into, I want you to take some time and really, really think about it. If you have to, do as much research as you possibly can. He's not just somebody who becomes very introspective. This is somebody who's a learned person. And if you yourself don't know exactly what information then this is saying, to ask someone else who may have some knowledge or experience in whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, that you're contemplating. This could be why this emperor has shown up. The emperor is just that. He's the emperor. There are no kings here. So the emperor is about being able to manage, keep a balance between your logic and your emotion. He gives good advice. He could be a businessman. He could be a mentor. He could be a father figure. This is going to be somebody that perhaps can help and assist you. The reason why I say that, I think the person has been through that before. Here's the Devil. Now, the Devil represents really the physical plane. The Devil is about money and clothes and sex and good food and good times. He can speak about the enjoyment of those things, but also he can speak about how those things can become traps. Okay? You can get caught up in the cycle of those things. Drinking too much, eating too much, spending too much money. It can also, I don't sense in a way, it looks like some type of karma is trying to, listen, the nodal shifts occur on May 9th. I think that's Sunday. Now, the last time that the true node was in Leo was in 1998. This represents groups and friendships, Uranus, because it rules Aquarius. Look, there's your things built up over time, okay? Here is the leader of the group. And that's what Leo is about. Leo is about leadership. It is about the leadership. It involves children, lovers, self-creativity, youth projects, youth demographics, babies, children. It is about the legacy. And Leo rules royalty. Well, there is the Emperor. And I'm looking at this is karma coming back around. Let me let you look at these cards. And I do feel that this is going to be people coming from your past, from 18 years ago. Okay? The way the cards would look are like this. Let me show you. See that? And it has a jerky start. The energy has a jerky start. I was saying that when I first saw those, it's a jerky kind of a start. As if things are coming up kind of slowly. I think for some of you, you're going to be struggling with whether or not this particular friendship or group dynamic is still going to hold any sway for you. Remember, this is karmic. So it could be that some of you are going to have people that show up from the past or groups that show up from the past who, you know damn well, you may be happy to see them in one respect, but you know you need to, handle them with a 10-foot pole. Why do I say that? There's just 7 of Wands. Okay. This could also be, now if I just want to look at the photo, at the image of the 10 of Pentacles, it's a 10. I want you to look at that. This tells you that it's an end of a cycle. So this could literally be that some of you will be leaving, you will be moving because your destiny or your karma is for you to go someplace else. This could be leaving behind friends and family, those things built up over time. Maybe having some resistance, people don't want you to go. So you have to stand up for what you believe in. This says that you're in a better position than you realize. For some of you, you may have gotten news that there's a promotion or a job or something and now you're trying to figure out, how am I going to do that? I do feel that some of you will be traveling overseas. This can speak to world travel, but this is also a new opportunity to open up karma, to change the karma. This is about karmic cycles ending. Now, you can either try to figure out what it is you need to do or where it is you need to go or how you need to do that, or you can choose to simply stay where you are. That's the thing about reading the tarot and astrology. They can kind of give you a heads up, okay? But ultimately, you are the one who is still responsible for any choices and decisions that you make. Now, what happens when Saturn, the devil, enters the mix? Fear steps into it. Egos, the brain starts talking to you. The ego starts telling you things. And you start listening. And I tell people all the time, don't listen sometimes to what your brain, because your ego, it will lie to you. It wants you to stay exactly where you are. It does not want you to move into this new energy that is trying to come on. And this could be what these cards are telling me at the top row, that some of you know that it's time for you to start a different chapter in your life. Okay. But you fear it. You're listening to what your intuition is saying, but you fear it. You don't trust it. Why? There's Neptune. And he is all about creating illusions and delusions. Now, for some of you, this could really be related to a person in your life who, I've got these 2 10s. You see, because the Wheel of Fortune is a 10. And all 10s are related to 1s. So this is definitely a change coming for some of you out there. And it's going to be a big change. And some of you will feel as though you really have been through the fire. Okay. And this is sometimes about leaving a bad situation for a better situation. Keep in mind that you would not be the person you are today had you not went through whatever that bad thing was, that bad situation. It builds character. It builds strength. What do the old people used to say? That which doesn't, kill you, okay? So what happens when you move is you take your thoughts with you. So everything that has occurred, you're going to take that with you. But that's because there are lessons there. So it's going to be the way that you think about where you're coming from that's going to dictate how your transition is going to go. This 6 of Wands, it tells me that maybe some of you have wanted to go back to college. You understand that going back higher ed, because this represents Jupiter and Sagittarius is about people at a distance. It's about foreigners, cultural differences, it's about higher education. We cannot deny that this guy's a scholar. So for some of you, this could be about wanting to go back to college, maybe to get your master's or your PhD, but you're not exactly sure maybe if you're going to be able to do it financially, or maybe your financial obligations, or your real world obligations to people. Maybe you've got kids. Maybe you might be a single parent. You're trying to figure out, how am I going to do this and take care of the kids at the same time? Am I going to be able to maintain that? Lots of things coming up. Let's take a look at the Six of Wands. This says, the Six of Wands, that for some of you, after this really confusing time, what I'm picking up with the Six of Wands is that there is a victory in this for you. But I do feel that you're going to have to buckle down. See, this, for some of you, this is what I don't, these two cards, the Devil and the Hanged Man. And it speaks to some type of fantasy or illusion, or some kind of, in the sense that maybe there's an illusion or a fantasy or delusion that you can't do whatever it is that you want to do. Okay? For some of you, this really could be you've got people in your life that are kind of holding you back. Okay? But you're being asked to really take a good look at that and to trust whatever your intuition is telling you. Sometimes, you don't need enemies with family. Sometimes family can be, people naysaying you in your ear. No, you can't do that, or no, you're not going to amount to anything, or no, that's not going to work, or that we begin to fall for that narrative ourselves. We begin to believe it. And this is about fighting for your principles and your beliefs. And sometimes when you do that, you're going to upset people, okay? But that's okay, because you're supposed to be making decisions for yourself, not making decisions for other people or allowing other people to make decisions for you. Whenever you make a decision out of shame, fear, guilt, anger, or making someone making you feel beholden to them, and you know in your gut that that's just not going to be right for you, but you do it anyway, then you always act against your own self-interest. And sometimes this is what the devil can be all about. It can be about being your own worst enemy, allowing other people's desires and wants and needs to keep you bound and chained right where you are. So sometimes you have to become defiant and aggressive to break out. I want to look at this Emperor. And yeah, there may be fights. I also want to warn against people telling you things. I think for some of you, there could be some kind of some misalignment coming from someone who is jealous for whatever reason. It's really not a valid reason. And the reason why I say that, we have the Uranus Aries. And Aries rules the reputation, the first house, how you are seen, how other people see you, how you choose to present yourself. If that is the case, know that the time is coming. And in the end, if you just maintain whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to end up in a better place. Remember, this says that you're in a better position than you realize. It may be a struggle, but just maintain your focus. This is also what the Hermit can say. Concentrate on you, okay? The Six of Wands is just so odd sitting in the middle of this. For those of you who feel as if you have been stuck, rooted, frozen in place, that's about to change for you. And of course, anytime we have changes, there's always a time of readjustment. And so that's what that Seven of Wands, the Seven of Wands represents Mars and Leo. Okay, so there's 2 Mars cards and 2 Leo cards. These are 2 Jupiter cards as well. 2 Mercury cards, Uranus and Saturn. And this is Aquarius, Moon in Aquarius, true nodes of the moon. Okay, so this is about really either someone coming to help you move through, or it is about the universe metaphorically trying to move you from one place to the other. Some of you will be moving, perhaps for work. The Six of Wands is just so odd to me. Let's pull it out. Yes. Okay. Maybe some of you have been going through negotiations. Okay. Some kind of business negotiations. Maybe you've been trying to sell your house. Maybe you've been trying to buy a piece of property. Maybe this is about taking on a new business partner. We have pleasant conversations. And in a sense, we can look at this like we see that those have come to an end. But it's not just an ending, it's a change. Well, there is the Donati. Okay, the security. So for some of you, this really could be about a big financial deal that has come. One that's kind of been stop and start, which I would think would be true during this Mercury retrograde. But please keep in mind that Mercury does not come out of its full shadow, direct shadow phase until the 21st. And this might be the 2 tens. This might be what the cards are trying to tell me here. Okay. And that some of you are going to be required to travel in order to really polish off the deal. I want to look at, and maybe it's been one person that you've been dealing with, maybe the head of the company or something, who's kind of been dragging his feet, or maybe he's been kind of demanding more. So it's been a real challenging kind of negotiation. And this could be about, you know, you saying, hell no. You know, I want to get in on the good stuff too. And standing your ground. Could be like holding out, you know. I want to look at this Emperor. Whatever it is right now, just know that I also think this is what the Wheel of Fortune is trying to tell me. You see, the Emperor is someone who, he didn't get to be the Emperor by being a wimp. And he didn't get to be the Emperor by being a complete dictator and tyrant. Okay? He's got to know how to walk softly and carry a big stick. And he's got to know how to get in there and balance one against the other. And I think this is what the Wheel of Fortune is saying. If you can fix yourself in the center, still stand your ground, but not be too butt-heady and not be too overly emotional, then you're going to be able to move through this time. You're going to have to fix yourself to the wheel. Let's look at this Emperor here. You know, and maybe cards saying, you know, if this person doesn't want to budge, you know, if you know you got something good, you just keep it moving. Sometimes, like I was saying before, sometimes, you know, because twin flames and soulmates are not necessarily romantic relationships. This can actually be business people that you're dealing with. But they're designed to show you something. So this could literally be about having the faith and the belief in your product, yourself, what you're trying to do, and saying, hey, look, you know, if we can't come to some kind of decent agreement, I'm going to have to pass this up. and take it someplace else, because sometimes maybe you're not supposed to be in business with that person. Okay? But what have you learned from that? Maybe you got some brand spanking new negotiation skills so that when you get to the other side of this, you know a few extra things that may come in your favor. Look, the great American eclipse that's coming up August 21st, I'm going to be writing an article about this. This is going to be huge and major. And if I'm not mistaken, there has not been an eclipse over the United States, a full eclipse, in 78 years. And a lot of us astrologers, well, I don't really want to put myself in there like the astrologers because I'm a budding astrologer, but a lot of my friends, we've been looking at, there's going to be really, yeah, you know, there's going to be huge major changes. Nothing as we know it now will be the same. And it's already starting. You're starting to see the dismantling of the government, dismantling of services. Things are going to be changing. And this is a brand new epoch that is coming in. And typically, whenever you want to look at anything major going on, the 3 planets you always look at, where they're positioned, what aspects are they making, what houses are they in. You look at Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Saturn can sometimes just be a stabilizing force. But Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, those are the 3 you always want to take a look at and see what they're doing, how they're moving, and what aspects are they making. And those are generational things. Everybody born in, let's say, from the late 50s to the mid 60s will have Uranus in Virgo. Okay, those same people will have Neptune in Scorpio. Okay, those same people will also have Pluto in Virgo. All right, so this is a generational thing, and I think that this is going to be huge in terms of the nodal shifts as well. Remember, Leo is about the royals and the generation and the legacies that you leave. And it kind of feels like there really is a revolution coming. One like we haven't seen since the 60s, perhaps. But it's going to be more so, I think, from a class warfare kind of a deal. Which, in one respect, in my opinion, you can't really separate out human rights from class warfare. You know, for centuries, women weren't allowed to own property. They couldn't have anything in their names. Women are still discriminated. We still get less money for doing the same job as a man. Pregnancy is considered to be a pre-existing condition, and it can cost you a lot more money, or people don't want to hire you because there is a possibility of getting pregnant. So, you know, you can't, that's a socioeconomic factor, but it's also a human rights factor. So I don't think you can separate out really one from the other in terms of what is happening right now around the world. It is not an isolated incident of what is happening here in the United States. It is happening around the world. And what happens on a global level will eventually affect you personally in your life. As above, so below. That is really what that means. So I want to pull cards on this Emperor here. And then I'm going to pull cards on this Devil. So, you know, I want you to, if you can get advice, get advice. Stubborn, somebody being very stubborn and not wanting to move. Here we have l'amica, the relationship of trust or the friendship. And then the melancholia. And maybe this is what the devil is speaking about. It is speaking about someone who's having a difficult time either accepting a relationship of trust or letting a relationship of trust develop. We have the melancholia, and I'm not exactly sure how those play out. So maybe if I put cards on the devil, it will come more into focus here. Maybe this could be about, you know, a separation. It just doesn't look like that from, maybe you're waiting on your final divorce papers. Maybe this is about division of property, child support, insurance, alimony, your property, our property together versus your personal property. And you're just kind of waiting. Yeah, but that devil energy sometimes can say, I can wait till hell freeze over. Really? So, you know, then you have to ask yourself, well, is it really worth all of that? The letterato. Look, we have 2 cards of meditation and study. Research. Research. The disgrazia, the tower, the house on fire. Another Uranus card. Yes. Remember I said it's almost like the cards are saying there's somebody that's been working against you. There's the falsità. Isn't that interesting? And I think it does have something to do. Yeah, I think some of you are going to discover, no matter how this plays out, whether this is business or romantic, that somebody has not been on the up and up. That's why the delusions and the illusions. You have put your trust in this person, and you're about to discover that they've been screwing you. And I do sense that it has something to do with finances, property, or work. And it's somebody that you've been around a long, long time that you know. That you know. Because this card is not only about going on a trip. It's also about sometimes not being so naive. Maybe you have jumped into a situation and you didn't really do the research. You didn't really think about it. Maybe somebody was able to come in and talk you into doing something. Yeah, join forces with me. Well, now you're discovering that this person has not had your best interest at heart. For some of you, this is about money and property and divisions. And for some of you, you may have to take your lumps, salvage what you can, and move. I think for some of you, this situation is going to mean you literally will have to move from wherever you are. You will. Be it because, you know, let's say your business has gone under, but you discover after your business, you know, through a, what do you call it? It's tax time. So you may find out that your accountant or the person you've been handling, that you trusted to handle your books, has been screwing you over. Wow. Well, get in there and fight for what you can. But at some point, you're going to have to accept whatever the losses are, and you're going to have to keep it moving. What's underneath there? Yeah, because there's the Aquarius card. The nodes are saying, you know, maybe sometimes things will happen in our lives that are really supposed to, you know, you're supposed to drop people. You're supposed to let go of some things because it's time to move into a new direction now. Let me, just out of curiosity, I want to see what this 10 of, and then I'm going to pull an angel answer card. And in a way now, this is the 3 cards here saying, you know what? Even though you may feel like it probably is one of the best things that will ever happen to you, depending on how you look at it. I know that's, you know, kind of a weird thing to say, but sometimes things happen in your life that seem like such a disaster. And then suddenly you realize, shit, how confined you were. And now you are able, you are, in a sense, you shed all of that old, heavy, burdensome energy, and you're free now to step into something new. That's why I say, don't listen to what your ego is telling you. Okay. It doesn't want you to step into. And that's another thing that these three cards could be saying, is that, you know, it's self-delusion. You can recover from this, whatever this is. I want to take a look at what this Ten of Pentacles says. And even if you find that one person has been screwing you over, you know, maybe this is when those people from 18 years ago are going to come back. They're going to come back in, you know, to help you. And maybe right now you kind of feel like there's nobody there to help you, and you got to do this all by yourself. I'm the emperor, damn it. You know, you know, it is what it is. I have done that before, have walked away and left everything and just started over. I have done that before, because sometimes it's just not worth the energy of fighting people over shit. Yes, I think some of you are waiting for that message to come in. The Belvedere, great foresight and planning. The Bambino, the new thing, and there's the message from afar, from far away. It could be that this happens to you and suddenly you get a message, hey, I'm starting up this thing and I really need somebody like you to come in and help me. And so you just pack your shit and you go. It could end up being the best thing that's ever happened to you. Sometimes out of tragedy comes miracles, really. It depends on how you look at it. And it can be difficult sometimes to see the positive side of a negative situation or a negative outcome. That can be very difficult. But, you know, again, fix yourself to the wheel and get in there and fight for what your beliefs are. You know what? I ain't gonna let nobody do that shit to me again. But then doesn't mean that you have to stand and fight that person over something that's already happened and that's changed, you know. Sometimes you have to just let stuff go. Easier said than done, I know. I try not to become attached to. I love things, but I'm not that attached to them. That doesn't mean that if I lose something or something like that, I'm not upset by it. But in the end, what can I do about it? Do you see that? If you believe. If you believe. I mean, really? Holy moly. Let's pull one Heart Oracle Tarot. I'm going to read the meaning of that card. If you believe. If you believe. And sometimes, you know, I see the Fool with the Hermit as somebody who's very unusual. Sometimes the Hermit with the Hangman can speak to a mystical kind of a person. The Uranus with the Aries can be somebody who is quite visionary. So that the Fool with the Hermit can also be somebody who's quite Uranus and Mercury visionary. Leadership abilities way ahead of their time. You know, you're dealing with people who are slow and stuck and don't want to try nothing new. Man, what the hell? You know, there was a reading that I did the other day where the tower showed up and I said, you know, it looks like I keep picking up a rocket ship. And then like 3 hours later, the SpaceX thing came on. There was a launch that failed and then they redid another that was quite successful. And so what I keep picking up is that somebody may have an opportunity to do something in like that particular type of industry. There's a lot more to that industry than just, you know, being shot in outer space. There's computers, there's all kinds of communications technology, and that keeps, for some reason, I don't really know if this means anything to anybody out there, but it really, I keep getting the message that there's something for someone that maybe they've been thinking about, or they're not quite sure, or maybe they've been picking up hints and maybe they're afraid to, but there really can be, I think, something that's going to really be, in a sense, rather positive for someone surrounding that particular type of business. There's a lot more to than just payloads and rockets, guiding systems, whatever, you know, I don't know, you know, whatever it takes to do that. There's a lot more to it than just shooting the rocket up in the air. That's what I keep getting. So maybe that, you know, maybe this is about investing something, you know. I don't know. All right, one card. Joy and stability, the Four of Coins. Now, let's read the if you believe. Okay. Let's read the if you believe. If you believe, what you need right now is faith. You can have what you desire, but you must believe that it can be so. Stay positive and visualize the outcome you're hoping for. Set aside all negativity or pessimism in favor of a sunny outlook. The law of attraction brings to us what we expect to receive. If our perception is that we deserve great things, then we will attract happiness. If we fall into doubt and don't believe in our own self-worth, then our experiences will match that energy. Believe in yourself and your cherished dreams. Remember I was saying, sometimes you just got to get in there and fight. And you don't need anybody's permission to uphold your own hopes and dreams. If you're not responsible for that, upholding your own hopes and dreams and wishes and wants, who the hell do you think is going to help you do that? Nobody else. Why? Because they're interested in upholding their own hopes, wishes, and dreams. They ain't thinking about you. Okay, go ahead. You know, that could be that selfish energy of Aries. All right, now we want to read the joy and stability, and that is the Four of Coins. I think that's right. It might be the Four of Wands. Let's see. Yes, it's the Four of Wands. All right. The keywords are happiness, celebration, sharing, and renewal. Like a beautiful summer day, this card brings joyful energy. Take a break or step back just for now from any concerns you may have around matters of the heart and spend some time in happy pursuits. Find reasons to celebrate with others. Welcome this warm, sunny energy into your life. Allow it to lift your spirits. I think this is very important because this is the second time this phrase has come up. Remember the law of attraction, and a high rate of vibration will attract all that you desire. Rejuvenate your relationships by renewing yourself. This card also speaks of a time of sharing and conversation. Lovingly open your heart and mind to people. Share your thoughts and, above all, be a good listener. Feel the ebb and flow of energy as you communicate with others. You'll find that this brings increased stability and warmth to your relationships, helping you attract like-minded people into your life. The things built up over time, and it sits in the future vertical column. So this could be about people from your past, from 18, 19 years ago, making a return, but it's also about new people that are supposed to be coming in to help you. All right, that's what I have for you. Until next time, namaste. And don't forget, I'll be getting those extended individual monthlies up. I'll be starting to post them after Monday. So bear with me. Thank you for joining me. Have a great weekend.